All right, and let's talk about what the hell is this, folks? What the hell is this? Can we stop with the Deshaun Watson getting traded narrative? I truly am not buying any of this. Now, this has just started to kind of break yesterday, and all day yesterday, and still kind of today, all the kind of bigger names, the checkmark verified on Twitter, the analysts, the professional analysts out here are slowly starting to report on this as well. But I'm not buying it, folks. I'm saying that they're all lying and that they all don't know what they're talking about. I don't think that this is going to happen. And not just for the Dolphins, but any team. Any team. But let's see what's going on here. There's a report coming out that the Dolphins have emerged as front runners in a blockbuster trade for Deshaun Watson. Now, we know Deshaun Watson wants to be traded from Houston. Houston is kind of trying to trade him as well. It seems like they're going to let this man go at some point. But obviously, the big elephant in the room with Deshaun Watson is the sexual assault cases, the multiple, the criminal, the criminal and the non-criminal. I don't know, I can't think of the word quickly. Civil and criminal. Unfortunate. Both multiple women, 20 plus, both sides, criminal, civil. So we all know that that's the elephant, and it's just why I don't think the Dolphins, why do it now? I mean, we had this entire offseason to do it. We had the entire preseason to do it. But now we're 2 weeks removed from the start of the season. We got Tua playing. I don't even think Tua's going to play today. But we had Tua playing real solid the first 2 preseason games. We're already kind of installed our offense. Him and Jalen Waddle have been getting great chemistry down together, getting it done. And now we're going to trade for Deshaun Watson of the hefty price tag because, folks, they're still adamant. I mean, this is what we're talking about. I mean, we knew originally, at the start of kind of preseason, the start of training camp, the start of the offseason, when Deshaun Watson was like, hey, I want out of here, the first initial trade value was 3 first-round picks and potentially some seconds. And now they're still saying 3 first-round picks. So maybe, everybody that's reporting on the situation is just kind of, latching on to the previous information. We don't know if this is updated information, but they are still saying that Texans are seeking at least 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks. Now, Deshaun Watson's great. I mean, I'm taking the only quarterbacks that I'm not taking over Deshaun Watson are Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Tom Brady. Patrick Mahomes because he's basically Deshaun Watson but better. Justin Herbert because I'm truly thinking this man is going to be in the GOAT discussion of quarterbacks. Young guy, and I think he's going to continue to get better. And then I take Tom Brady over Deshaun Watson because y'all just saw that man win the Super Bowl last season. Yeah, I'm still taking that. So those are the only 3 quarterbacks I'm taking over Deshaun Watson. I would take right now Deshaun Watson over Tua, and that's no disrespect to Tua. That's respect to Deshaun Watson because this man just led the league in passing yards last season by going under the radar because this team was absolutely garbage from the top down. Deshaun Watson was the only highlight, the only good player on this team. So I do love Deshaun Watson. I think he's absolutely fantastic. This man is a A1 tier 1 quarterback in this league. He can single-handedly win you and lead you to a Super Bowl no problem by himself. So yes, I do think Deshaun Watson's a great quarterback. I just don't think it makes sense for really any team to give up 3 first-round draft picks because of these lawsuits still pending. We don't even know. This man may not play this year and may not play next year. And then his reputation's ruined. I mean, we saw Michael Vick. He's probably the most notable great quarterback that faced legal issues and then just really wasn't the same after. And then you've got, the negative side. We all know the NFL is always kind of, pro-business. Hey, we're a business, so we will do what's right for our business, cutting players, not signing players because of distractions off the field that affect sales, jersey sales, ticket sales, advertising revenue. So, with Michael Vick, you had, half the population being like, no, we don't even want to see this man anymore. The other half being like, he paid his time, he paid his dues, and, we have to move on at some point. If we have this kind of justice system, a jail system to kind of fix incorrect things that has happened in the past. You pay your dues. You do a crime, you go to jail, you did your time. At some point, we have to kind of move on. He paid his dues for that. So we kind of had, two sides to that argument. And, Michael Vick was still kind of getting screamed at by, just the fan bases and just kind of people in general. So if the same thing happens with Deshaun Watson here, he goes to jail, he gets found guilty in any of these, whatever it is, you're going to have kind of that negative business kind of aspect to Deshaun Watson. So you're going to give up 3 first-round picks. 3 first-round picks. That's absolutely crazy. Now, Deshaun Watson, he's worth 3 first-round picks if he's not kind of under investigation for anything. Then I would give up 3 first-round picks for Deshaun Watson in a heartbeat. A heartbeat, I would do that. But because of all the circumstances surrounding this man, I just don't think you can. I would still maybe give up 1 first-round draft pick for Deshaun Watson. I don't think that's bad to do. I think that's a pretty solid gamble. Hey, I'll give you 1 first-round draft pick. We don't know if this man's going to play anymore, but if we can get the man for 1 first-round draft pick, that is the steal of the entire decade. Steal of the entire history of the NFL. How crazy is that? That we would be living in the time of the biggest steal in NFL history if we can get Deshaun Watson for 1 first-round draft pick. 2, I still maybe make the trade. I think it would kind of be a 50-50 decision, and I think at the end of that deciding period, I would probably decide to trade 2 first-round draft picks for Deshaun Watson. But now we're talking 3 with all this nonsense going on. I don't know if I can give up 3 and some 2s. I mean, we're truly trading in our future. Any team would be trading in their future to acquire Deshaun Watson, who may possibly not play for the rest of his career. Or 1 year or 2 years. We don't know. So let's see where all these reports are coming from. I mean, folks, it truly just took over Twitter yesterday, took over the entire media yesterday. So let's see what we are truly talking about here, and if there's any true meat, substance to this narrative and story that has once again reemerged. For why? What is the reason for this? So let's see what we get here. Deshaun Watson may be finally getting his wish, according to Charles Robinson. Let's check this man's credentials. Who the heck is Charles Robinson? Senior NFL reporter for Yahoo? Okay. Is Yahoo even respectable anymore, folks? I'm not saying that Charles Robinson isn't respectable. I'm just saying Yahoo? Okay. I think I could get a freaking job at Yahoo Sports. I may apply there after the show. All right, according to Charles Robinson of Yahoo Sports, the Miami Dolphins has emerged as a frontrunner in a trade for Deshaun Watson. The report also adds that the Texans are seeking 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks, which was reported to him by a team that dropped out of the trade discussions. Now, once again, we have to keep time schedule. Is he just pulling on the information that came out like a month, 2 months ago when, the first initial trade value for Deshaun Watson came out? Or is this new information that is coming out right now as we are talking? It's Yahoo, so they still may be a couple months behind on their information. It's Yahoo, folks. But let's see what he says here. Here we go. This is by Charles Robinson. These are his tweets. Here we go. Thread. Sources tell Yahoo Sports the Dolphins have emerged as the frontrunners in trade discussions with the Texans for quarterback Deshaun Watson. The Texans are seeking 3 first-round picks and 2 second-round picks in negotiations, according to a team that dropped out of trade talks. That's so. He's worth it. I mean, pure talent-wise, he's definitely worth all of that. I'm not saying that. I don't know if he's worth that right now with all the lawsuits and the negative optics on the man. It's unfortunate. Now, he could still be 100% innocent. That could truly be the case. And at that point, that's why we kind of want to get him for 1 first-round pick, because then it's truly the steal if he comes out of this thing 100% innocent. And then we can kind of, drop this narrative and all this, and Deshaun Watson's back at kind of goated status of the current quarterbacks in this league. All right, second tweet here. Sources said the Panthers, Broncos, and Eagles were also in some elements of trade consideration. But once again, this is all we've been known this information. So is he just recycling information because, we're starting to kind of get to the beginning of the season? We still kind of need a couple of more stories to talk about before, the NFL regular season kicks off. And then, we can start talking about everything that's been going on because there's games actually being played, meaningful games being played. So is he just recycling information out here? We knew all of this. And the Dolphins were the kind of the front runner 2 months ago as well. So once again, I'm not hearing anything new. I'm not seeing anything new. That's why I'm not believing in any of this. I really think Tua had an amazing training camp and an amazing preseason game performances. So why now continue this narrative that the Dolphins are throwing Tua aside, never believe in Tua? I believe 1,000% in Tua. 1,000,000% in Tua. I'll say 1,000,000% I believe in Tua. So it's just like it's not adding up to be real news out here. I'm not buying it. Let's continue on. So sources said the Panthers, Broncos, and Eagles were also in some element of trade consideration, but Watson's contractual right to approve the trade destination, which was signed off on by Houston ownership in his last extension, has weighed heavily in trade opportunities. So that's great. I mean, Deshaun Watson can control his own future, which is always great for a great quarterback. You don't want to see, Matthew Stafford 2.0 here. Matthew Stafford, a great quarterback that his entire career was wasted in Detroit. Now he finally has a chance to prove himself. We don't want that with Deshaun Watson. We don't want him to be on a garbage team his entire career and never win any meaningful games because he's too good not to win any meaningful games out there. In the last tweet, sources said teams have angled for a pick protection in any trade to mitigate a potential NFL suspension or criminal prosecution tied to ongoing investigations by the FBI, Harris County prosecutors, and Houston Police Department into sexual assault allegations from multiple women. And we know the kind of FBI investigation has to do with the extortion part of what is going on than the actual sexual assault allegations on Deshaun Watson. So I don't think this is anything new. I think this is just trying to maybe potentially recycle some old news. I'm not buying that this is real news in the last 2 days, the last day, whatever it is. I'm not buying it. I don't think Deshaun Watson gets traded this season. I don't believe it. And I don't believe that they get 3 first-round draft picks and 2 second-round picks. I don't believe that at all. Now, what I could potentially see is a quarterback swap and maybe a couple of picks. Maybe, unfortunately, they have to trade Tua straight up for Deshaun Watson and a first-round pick, and that's truly unfortunate for Tua to have to go and play in this organization. I don't want to see anybody play in this Texans organization until it gets cleaned up in the front office and literally everywhere else on this team. So that would just truly be unfortunate by Tua. I would feel so upset for the man. I would feel 100% for the man out here. But I'm not buying any of it. I'm not buying any of it. I do not care who is saying it. I am not buying it. Until it happens, then I will buy it. But just people saying it, I'm not buying it at all. I think Deshaun Watson will be Houston Texan this season, and then we'll talk about him next season when we get a little bit clearer of a picture of all the allegations, whether guilty or innocent. We'll know more in a year. I can guarantee you that. So, I'm not buying the blockbuster report trade. I'm not buying it. You won't catch us buying it. I'm not buying into the hype. I'm not buying into the narrative. It doesn't make any sense to us. I will not buy it.